I told him that I would not paint my door with blood. I had Jesus to protect me. I convinced 3 other families in the village to forego the ritual and trust in the power of the Lord. The village leadership was not pleased. I didn't care. I was going to show them the foolishness of their pagan beliefs. This is Audio Stories with J.B. Simeon. This is the story Forsaken. Decades ago, I was a missionary on an assignment to a small village in the Pacific Islands. The people in the village were generally Christians. However, they practiced some pagan rituals that I objected to. Once per year, the blood of a goat would be painted across the door of the houses in the village to protect the inhabitants from a demon. The villagers would paint the blood strip and say a prayer for protection. If it was not done, in the morning, the inhabitants of the unprotected house would be dead. I was warned about the ritual by the previous missionary that I had relieved. He told me to ensure that I also painted the blood on my door. It was something I had to do to be safe. I lost my respect for that man. I told him that I was disappointed in him before he departed. I said, "A true man of God has no fear of demons." This was a perfect time to teach the villagers a lesson about the powers of Jesus. I informed the village leaders that I would not be painting my door with blood. I had the blood of Jesus to protect me. I convinced 3 other devout families in the village to forego the ritual and trust in the power of the Lord. The village leadership was not pleased with me. I didn't care. I was determined to show them the foolishness of their pagan beliefs. The night of the ritual, I carried on as usual. The next morning, I was of course still alive. As I was departing my house to go to the church, I noticed that someone had painted my door with blood. I was angry. Some superstitious person had upset my lesson in the power of Jesus. After I calmed down, I went to visit the other 3 families whom had chosen to trust in the strength of the Lord. They would have to be the examples for the village. At all 3 houses, the families were dead. They had been ripped apart by some powerful animal. The village leaders said that I was the cause of these families' deaths. They said that I had painted my door, which was a lie, to save my life, but I had let these people die. They turned the entire village against me. I had to quickly leave for my own safety. I never did find out who painted my door. I met with the previous missionary a few days later at our headquarters in the capital. He was being posted to the village until the church could find a new missionary. He told me 2 things that cleared up the mystery of what happened in that village. First, he had arranged for one of his friends in the village to paint my door because he said that I am an arrogant fool. I had to be protected from my own ignorance of human nature. Second, he said, in isolated areas, strongly held beliefs in and strongly held desires to continue religious or cultural traditions can turn good neighbors into savage killers. The incident in the village is proof. Learn human nature or you will fail every time. That concludes the story of Forsaken. I hope that you enjoyed it. If so, please click the thumbs up symbol below and subscribe to Audio Stories Now so that you'll be informed when new stories are available. Thank you and take care.